be seated. The court is now back in session. And before I hand the floor to Judge Laverne to put further questions to the witness, I'd like to inquire with the defense team for Khieu Samphan if you have questions to put to the witness. And if that is the case, how much time do you anticipate? Kong Samphan. Mr. President, if Judge Laverne concludes his question, maybe I don't have any question, but if he continues with his question, I'll see if I need to have the floor. President, Mr. Witness, are you ready? Witness, yes, I am. President, Judge Laverne, you can resume your questioning.
Merci, Monsieur le.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, I indeed still have a few questions to put to you, and they are still follow-up questions. A while ago, in answer to a question put to you by the civil party lawyer, you stated that persons came from Phnom Penh to visit, if I understood correctly, your village. Can you tell us who are those people from Phnom Penh? And to be more specific, can you tell us whether you saw Nuon Chea or Khieu Samphan come to visit Tram Kak district in Sector 13?
I never saw any of them since 1970. I never saw Chi or Khieu Samphan.
Bien. Quand vous étiez.
Very well. When you were in the commerce section, can you tell us who was your superior, who was the secretary of the commerce section in the Tram Kak district office?
At that time, there was an office chief of the district, and his name was Chun. I do not know his whereabouts because we separated from one another a long time ago.
Chun était le chef.
Chun, was he the chief of commerce or the secretary of the district office?
He was chief of the district office, and he was also in charge of the e-commerce.
Yeah. Donc.
Very well. So, when you received instructions and you had to submit reports, he was a person you had to see or address whatever reports you had to. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Est-ce que vous pouvez me dire combien de personnes au total travaillaient au bureau?
Can you tell us how many persons in all worked in the district office?
There were 4 people. Myself, him, and there were 2 others, and I heard that one passed away, and I did not know the whereabouts of the other one.
Yeah. J'aimerais.
Very well. I would like you to explain to the chamber the difference between your role and your activities when you were at Tram Kak and when you were sent to the Northwest Zone. Were your duties and responsibilities the same? Did you have the same prerogatives, or they were different? And how were they different?
regarding my work at the Commerce, as I said, that Commerce office was not a trading office. It was where they stored rice for distribution. At Tramco, the office was not that busy. We had time to rest. And when I came to Battambang, I was always busy. I had to move around quite a lot. And that's the different situation, because at Battambang I was busier than over there.
Monsieur, je comprends que vous...
Mr. Witness, I understand that you had a lot to do in Battambang, but did your role change, or it was the same, that is, managing warehouses or distributing some goods and merchandise?
It remained the same.
Bien.
Very well. A while ago, you talked about the situation in the Northwest Zone and the places you went to. And you stated that some persons needed to eat more than the rations given out to them. Can you tell us whether there were any rice rations that were fixed and that were calculated per person? Was there a measured quantity of rice that had to be given to each person?
President, the Chamber wishes to inform the Chamber that the reserve witness to TCW 1042. It seems that we do not have sufficient time to hear his testimony, and the Chamber notified the witness so that he could return to his residence, and his schedule would be made at a later stage. So, it is clear for parties that today the Chamber will not begin hearing testimony of witness to TCW 1042. And the greffier or a court officer, please work with a visual to notify the said witness so he could return to his residence.
Just a follow-up question, if I may, Mr. President. Has a decision been made in respect of admitting that orange logbook that we discussed a week ago? Maybe my request faded in into the air.
It didn't. We are just checking something.
Okay.
Judge Laverne, you may resume.
Bien, merci, Monsieur le Président.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. President. Witness, my question to you was whether you are aware of the existence of a rice food ration fixed for each person. That is a certain quantity that had to be given to each person.
Regarding the food ration, for each meal, it was 1 can per person.
Et cette même ration s'appliquait.
And did the same ration apply to the northwest zone in the Takeo sector in Tramkak district? Was it the same ration everywhere?
Yes, to my understanding, at the location where I lived, per meal it was 1 can per person.
Et quand vous étiez à Tramkak,
And when you were at Tramkak, were you in charge of making sure that food ration was respected?
There were people who were responsible for that at different locations, namely at the cooperatives, offices, branches of offices. There were group chiefs who were responsible for that.
et à qui ces chefs de groupe
And who did those group chiefs report to?
They reported to us, and then we reported to our chief.
Est-ce que vous avez eu des rapports
And did you see any reports in which the issue of food shortages was mentioned?
There was towards the later period of the year, because at the end of the year the food supply was less than the beginning of the year. So then when we were informed about that, we had to reduce the ration due to the shortage of rice.
Est-ce que vous savez en quelle année c'était
And do you know in what year that was? And are we talking only of the Tramkap district, or you're talking of the entire northwest zone?
There was no problem in the northwest zone, but I experienced that issue at Tramkop. So when there was a shortage, we had to reduce the ration. For example, we reduced from 10 to 8.
Donc, d'après ce que
So, from what you were able to see with your own eyes, in your opinion, was the food situation better in Tramkak district than in the northwest zone, or was it worse in Tramkak district than what you saw in the northwest zone, or was it the same thing?
And the location where I worked, that is in the northwest zone, it seems that the food was sufficient at the units that I went through, but I could not say about the other locations.
Donc, si je résume,
So, if I were to sum up what you're saying, where you were in the northwest zone, you witnessed a situation that appeared to be one of food sufficiency, whereas when you were in Tramkak district, you were informed of periods during which there were food shortages. Did I properly understand your testimony?
Yes.
bien, vous avez dit que
Very well. You stated that you received reports from group chiefs. Can you tell us whether you, for your part, issued instructions to group chiefs and to cooperatives as regards the quantity of rice that had to be produced? And did you yourself receive instructions to achieve certain production quotas?
Regarding the monthly meeting, the focus was to push for more agricultural production, and then the information was disseminated to the commune and the district levels so that they could produce more rice yield in terms of quality and quantity than the previous year. And this topic was discussed in every meeting.
Est-ce que des quantités fixes
were fixed quantities set? Were there any particular quotas of rice production to be met per hectare?
They set the quota, but the quotas could not be reached at some locations, and the quota was 3 tons of rice yields per hectare, but that could not be achieved everywhere. And for that reason, the food supply was dependent on various villages and cooperatives. If they received more rice yields, then they enjoyed more food. And for the areas that the rice yield was not sufficient, then the food would be reused.
Est-ce que vous faisiez rapport
Did you report the quantities of rice produced, whether the quotas fixed were met or not? And if you did submit such reports, to whom did you submit them?
Regarding the yearly rice production, we received reports from the cooperatives who reported to the district.
Bien, j'aimerais.
Very well. I would like you to be shown a document which in principle should have been brought from, it's document E3/8418. Can we also have that document placed on the screen?
Yes, you may. And Duty Council, please provide the written, the said document to the witness for his view. Duty Council, thank you, Mr. President. I'll do that.
Je ne sais pas si le document peut être projeté à l'écran.
I do not know whether the document can be screened so that I can give a summary description thereof. It is a document containing information regarding the quantities of rice produced during the dry season that were received or obtained from 9 communes in Tramkok district as of the 19th of April 1977. So we have a total quantity of 1,231 bags that were milled in Kbal, Pau, and the quantity of rice used on the 27th of March 1977, that is 457 bags. That is from the 27th of March 1977 to the 19th of April 1977. Witness, have you ever seen this document or a similar document? Did you see it when you were working at the Commerce Department?
No, I never saw this. When such a report was made, the report would be submitted to the district committee.
ខ្ញុំបានជម្រាប
As I testified earlier, the management of the work at the Commons was mainly to deal with salt and cloth, and we rarely dealt with rice.
Est-ce que vous avez lu ce document?
Have you read the document, and can you tell us what is meant by the total quantity of rice spent? What were the bags of rice used for? Was it used for barter? Was rice sent to the sectors, and were other goods received in exchange for the rice?
No, I do not understand it. This list is about the number or the total number of the unhatched rice that they produced. I read this document, but I do not know from whom the report was made and to whom the report was submitted.
Il est fait état d'une rizerie.
I made mention of a rice mill at Kabal Po. Do you know whether there was indeed a rice mill at Kabal Po? Under whose authority was it? Was it under the district, the sector, a cooperative? What do you have to tell us in that regard?
I do not have a graph regarding this rice mill. I do not know who controlled it. However, people says that it was a large rice mill, and if that is the case, it means that it was under the management of the sector and not the district.
Voilà. J'aimerais.
Very well. I would like you to be shown another document, and it is E3/2441. And to be more specific, the ERNs regarding that document are as follows: in Khmer, 0027095829; in English, 00369485 to 86; French, 00611761 to 62.
Voilà. Est-ce que vous avez vu?
Have you seen this document, witness? I don't know if it's also possible to display it on the screen.
I am trying to locate the document. Yes, you may, and every unit, please show that document on the screen as requested by Judge Laverne.
Voilà, il faudrait montrer le.
The last paragraph should be shown, the last paragraph on this page.
Le dernier paragraphe.
And the last paragraph states the following. It's the paragraph of the previous page. It's the last paragraph of the previous page, yes. So it states the following. When there was no longer any cassava at the base, the situation became much worse. Indeed, the threshed rice could only be distributed by 4 cans per day. Per day, 10 people in the day as well as in the evening. So I would like Ankara to know how serious the situation is. And this report is dated 13 October 1977. So, witness, does this correspond to reports as you would receive them when you were at the district office?
In the district commerce, we did not receive such a report. As I said, the reports were made through the district committee, and they did not report through my section.
You can read that apparently the quantities of rice that were distributed per day and per person are very far removed from the food rations that you described. That is to say, 1 can of rice per person. So can you tell us if you know the person who signed this report?
Vous voyez la signature?
Can you see the signature?
I do not know this person. Sound, I do not know him.
Yeah.
Fine. I would like now to display another document, the last one. This is document E3/2109. Can we display this document, please, on the screen? So here are the ERNs. French 0029 0272 to 74. English 0027 65 56 55 to 56 rather, and Khmer 000 68 014 to 016.
President, yes, please.
So the first paragraph of this document seems to entail prisoners. It mentions 75 prisoners, that is to say a certain number of people who were cleansed, and 6 people who died of illness. And you told us that you heard about Krang Tachang, but that you had never been there. So did you receive the reports or any kind of information regarding the prisoners at Krang Tachang?
It was not my role to receive those reports. I had nothing to do with those reports.
Well, you should read the second paragraph. However, the second paragraph is entitled Expenditures. And the following is stated: expenditures, including the entire office, expended 860 cans of paddy rice. This represented 34 cans full, and we expended 80 cans of salt. And spent 95 bags of rice, question mark, for Samron commune, 11, question mark, 11, 5.5 bags of manioc cassava for Totiang Tnai, and 21 rice seedlings were provided to 106, and 2 horse carts of manioc plants. So did the district office in Tramkok monitor the expenditures that were carried out in the district?
I was not aware of this matter, Mr. President, particularly about the expenditures of rice. I was at Angkor Commerce, and there was only rice, salt, and the embroidered cloth, and I was not aware of the expenditures.
Do you recognize the handwriting here? Do you know who might have drafted this report?
I did not know this individual.
Do you know if in Tramkak district some people were arrested for having eaten or stolen food, rather, to eat this food because they were hungry?
I was not aware of arrests since I was working only at my office. That happened in cooperatives. I was not informed, and when such thing happened, they would make the report according to their chain of command.
In what was this hierarchical system? Who would report to whom was the report was addressed, and how was the report circulated?
I did not know how to explain that to you. There was no clear hierarchical order. The village would make the commune to the villages would make reports to the commune, and the communes would forward the reports up the line. I myself did not receive any reports like that. I was in charge and took care of the items at my location.
Witness, did you ever travel to the sector office?
I never entered it. That the sector was located at Takao, and I was posted at Angkor. I never went inside that office of the sector.
Do you know where it was located in Takeo? Can you tell us exactly where this office was?
To my knowledge, it was located right at the place where the hotel is standing.
faute du temps, je ne vais pas poser d'autres questions.
I don't have enough time, so I'm not going to put to you many more questions, but I'd like to put a last question to you, however. Did you ever witness food assistance arriving in Tram Kak district? Do you remember having received rice coming from China or from other countries? Or was there any other kind of food assistance that was provided to the people of Tram Kak?
I was not aware where it was from. The high level sent the food to the low level. For example, I was at Angkor. The people at Dakao would bring in the fabric to me, and then I was in charge of further distributing that fabric. I did not know where that fabric was taken from.
Bien.
Fine. Do you know if rice was sent by the center, and do you know if any rice came from China as a form of aid, or from other countries?
I do not understand your question. I have already told you already that I have no idea about how the rice and unhusked rice was transported. That was the tasks of those who were in the high level.
Bien, je vous remercie.
Fine. Thank you very much, witness. I have no further questions to put to you, given the amount of time that I have left.
President. And now the floor is given to the defense team for Mr. Kyo Sampon. Kung Samon. Thank you, Mr. President. We have no questions. President. Thank you. The chamber is grateful to you, Mr. Witness. The hearing of your testimony as a witness has now come to an end. Your testimony will contribute to the ascertainment of the truth. You may now be accused. I wish you good luck, good health, and prosperity. And the chamber is grateful to you as well, Mr. Momrati, the duty counsel. You may now take the rest too. Thank you, Mr. President, said the lawyer. And the chamber express its thanks to the support staff for assisting in arranging the video link, and you all can now take a rest. Now, the chamber wishes to issue an oral ruling on the co-prosecutor's request to call 2 additional witnesses on the role of the accused. The chamber is seized of the co-prosecutor's request to hear 2 additional witnesses, E3/10627 and E3/10751 on the role of the accused. The request was filed on 13 December 2016, E452. The Kyo Sampon defense objects to hearing the new evidence because of the late date of the request. The Nuon Chea defense opposes the request but submits that if the requests are granted, an additional document should also be admitted for purposes of cross-examination. The chamber considers the request is untimely. Further, it is not convinced that the interests of justice require the hearing of these two witnesses and therefore rejects the request. Full written reasons for this decision will follow in due course. Another issue, the Chamber has received the request of T2TCW 1042 via vessel by stating that the witness wishes to request using his laptop while he is testifying before the Chamber in the upcoming days. The Chamber now is seeking the opinions of all parties about the request of the witness. Do you have any observations or objection to the request to use her laptop or her laptop?
We have no objections. I think given given the size of the document that the witness is going to be questioned about, I think that would possibly greatly facilitate the questioning. So, so we would agree to that request.
President, and for those who are silent now, it is considered that you agree with the request. Is that correct? And the request of Mr. Copper?
That assumption is correct, Mr. President. We fully agree with that it would be very practical if the witness has her laptop with her. Indeed.
Mr. President, I have an observation. If the witness uses the laptop and indicates the figure in the list, I don't think that there is any problem. The laptop can store any kind of documents. And if in some cases the witness should not use his laptop because he may not refer to the documents concerned. President, the request is very short and he wants to be able to respond to the questions put by the parties, particularly the questions which are to be put under the indication or condition of the co-investigating judges in order to facilitate the proceedings. I think that the use of a laptop is appropriate. The second issue about the request of Copper to admit the logbook, the yellow one, from Professor Hanosky. The chamber already placed that logbook into the share trial, but has not yet admitted into the evidence. The chamber will inform parties very soon about this.
One very brief point in this matter, Mr. President, if I may. I'm quite sure that you will admit that orange logbook. Would it be possible to liaise with the office of the co-investigating judge to have the upcoming witness look at the original orange logbook that is displayed at CMS, so that we, if we want to, can ask her questions about that logbook?
It is fine, and there is a good intention from Council. Again, it is now time for the adjournment. The Chamber will adjourn now, and the Chamber will resume its hearing on Wednesday, 4th January 2017 at 9 a.m. On that day, the Chamber will hold the key documents hearings in relation to the role of the accused. Please be informed and please attend the hearing. The security personnel are instructed to bring Nuon Chien Kisampon back to the ECC detention facility and have them returned into the courtroom on 4 of January 2017 before 9 a.m. The court is now adjourned.